Hi guys, I'm Matt, I'm a tasty producer, and I love chicken wings. I think they're one of the most perfect, versatile foods out there. You can enjoy them savory, sweet, spicy, baked, grilled. The possibilities are endless, which is why I think that no matter how much time you have, you should be able to enjoy the ultimate chicken wing. So today, I'll be sharing 3 recipes for a 10-minute, a 1-hour, and a 1-day chicken wing. Let's get started. Say you're feeling lazy, maybe you've had a long day of work, or you just don't want a mess to clean up, these 10-minute wings are the recipe for you. To get started, I'm adding a little bit of oil to a pan over medium heat. Now that my oil is at temperature, I'm just going to add my wings to the pan. The reason I'm going with these pre-cooked ones is it'll take less time because we only have to bring them up to temperature rather than cooking them all the way through. These are going to cook for about a minute or 2 until they're brown, and then we're gonna flip them and repeat on the other side. And some nice browning on the underside, look at that. So it's time to make our sauce. I'm adding some soy sauce, and then I'm adding a special ingredient. This is cola. Now you can use any soda you want as long as it's not a sugar-free variety. You need that sugar so it cooks down and thickens nicely. I'm gonna turn the heat up to high so this comes to a boil. I'm just gonna let this cook until it's nice and thickened and forms a little glaze on the top of my chicken. And as you can see, my soy sauce and cola mixture has reduced nicely. It's a thick sauce. It's glazing all of my chicken. This looks delectable. Pop them onto a plate. Oh wow, so saucy. Get a little bit of that sauce, drizzle that over the top. No good bits go to waste. And then to finish, just some nice scallions on the top, add a pop of color, add a bit of freshness. And there you have it, 10-minute cola wings. These look awesome. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how we did. Ooh, nice and sticky. Oh wow. These are shockingly good for only taking 10 minutes to make. The cola adds a nice glaze and sweetness to the outside. The chicken itself is perfectly tender. If you want to make wings in a pinch, this is the recipe for you. However, if you want something a bit more impressive, stick around for our 1-hour wings. We couldn't make a video about chicken wings without including the all-time classic buffalo wings. These are great for a game night. They're great if you're having friends over, and honestly, they're pretty good if you're having them by yourself because guess what? These are baked, so technically that means they're healthier. My wings are all patted dry, so now it's time to season them. Generously sprinkle them with some salt and a bit of pepper. Toss these until they're nice and evenly coated. I'm just gonna set my wings aside, and now it's time to get started on the dry rub for my wings. So in a bowl, I am combining baking powder, and we're actually using aluminum-free baking powder. We recommend it just in case someone is sensitive to the metallic taste. Garlic powder, onion powder, finally a little bit of smoked paprika. And just stir all of it together until evenly combined. Bring back my wings, and I'm just sprinkling my dry rub all over the top. And then toss until everything is nice and evenly coated. Ooh, this smells so good. And I have here a greased rack to which I'm going to add my wings. And I'm just placing them face up on the rack. And the baking powder that's in the rub for these wings is really gonna help them dry out and develop like crispiness on the outside. Very similar to if you were to fry them in oil, but sans the oil. And then of course the reason we are baking these on a rack is so that our air circulates evenly, which is going to help our wings crisp up even more. Pop these in a 425-degree oven for about 30 to 45 minutes. 30 if your wings are on the smaller side, 45 if your wings are on the thicker side. They'll take a little bit longer to cook. While the wings are baking in the oven, it is the perfect time to make homemade ranch dressing. Now you can totally go and buy ranch dressing from the store if you want to, but we have the time to make it, and it's a great way of just leveling up your entire meal. In a large bowl, I'm combining sour cream, mayonnaise, buttermilk, add a little bit of tang to it, apple cider vinegar, garlic powder, onion powder, fresh dill, and finally some salt. Just whisk all that together, and that's really it. That's how you make homemade ranch dressing. It's really that easy. I'm just gonna pop this in the refrigerator until my wings are ready and move on to the next step. We still have plenty of downtime, so why not make buffalo sauce from scratch? It's super easy and you can customize it basically any way you want. To get started, I have a pan over medium heat to which I am adding some butter. And as the butter is melting, I'm going to add my hot sauce. And what's great about this is you can use literally whatever hot sauce you like. If you have a specific preference or brand or whatever, go for it. I'm adding some honey, just to round things out to kind of take the edge off the acidity. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some garlic powder, and finally, I'm just adding a little bit of cayenne pepper to the top. Add as much as you prefer. If you want it hotter, go with a little bit more. If you want it on the mild side, add a little bit or none, and just whisk all of that together until nice and combined. Make sure your butter is emulsified. I'm bringing this to a boil and letting it go for about 3 to 4 minutes until thickened. Once your buffalo sauce comes to a boil, kick the heat down to about medium-high and continue to stir until it's thickened and saucy. That's all it takes to make buffalo sauce. We're just gonna set this aside and grab our chicken wings. Now it is time to bring all of our elements together. To a bowl, I'm adding my wings. You can hear how crisp they are as they go in. And then just pour your buffalo sauce all over the top. And then toss until all of the wings are coated in that luscious, spicy, buttery buffalo sauce. Oh my goodness. In the words of my idol, Emeril Lagasse, I wish you had smell-o-vision. Oh my God, these look so good. I am so excited. I'm personally a huge fan of the flats, but comment below if you prefer flats or drums. And there we are. That is 1 hour baked buffalo wings with homemade buffalo sauce and ranch dressing. Let's try our 1 hour buffalo chicken wings. Get a little bit of that ranch on there. Here we go. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my God. If someone put a plate of these out at a party, I would absolutely crush this. They're crunchy on the outside. The buffalo is not too spicy, but adds a good bit of heat to it. The ranch is super creamy and tart. This is a phenomenal recipe, and if you have an hour to spare, absolutely try this. Try every part of it. I can't recommend it enough. Now, if you have a little bit more time and some patience, this last recipe is really gonna blow your socks off. Our final recipe today is a OneDay sweet and spicy sticky wing. Now, this is a 3-step process. We're gonna start with a dry brine for flavor. We're then going to confit them so they get wonderfully tender on the inside, and we're gonna close things out with a deep fry so they form a beautiful crispiness on the outside. And with that being said, let's get started. So first things first, we need to make our dry brine. In a bowl, I'm adding salt, sugar, and then finally gochugaru, which is a Korean chili pepper flake. And just mix all of that until combined. And the gochugaru adds some nice red color to that. And just add your dry brine over the top of your wings. Once they're nicely coated, just toss everything until combined. And the reason we're doing a dry brine is that's really going to allow our flavors to penetrate the meat all the way through. It's also going to help tenderize our meat as well. And once the wings are nice and coated, place them on a baking sheet face up, much like we did for the buffalo wings. Pop the wings in the fridge uncovered for about 4 hours or even overnight, just to let those flavors really penetrate. When your wings come out of the fridge, they should glisten. You should see all the moisture kind of collected on the surface. Now we're ready to confit them. Confiting is where you cook something in its own fat or in an oil. This is a great way of ensuring it's super tender. It also keeps things moist. To start, just transfer your chicken to a baking dish. Perfect, it's like a puzzle. Look at that. And then to the chicken, just add some ginger, garlic, and finally our scallions. And as this cooks, these are just going to impart more flavor on our chicken. At this point, it is time to add our fat, or in this case, olive oil. Just pour this over your chicken until each piece is completely covered. This is very pretty. You've got your reds, your greens. It's almost like Christmas colored. There we are. At this point, you're ready to pop this in a 300-degree oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Also, a good pro tip, when you pop this in the oven, put it over a baking sheet. That way, any drippings or if anything bubbles over will be caught and won't burn in your oven. I'll see you guys in 3 hours. So after a couple of hours, it's starting to pull away from the bone at the edges, but it's not completely falling apart. Just transfer it to a foil-lined baking sheet. I feel like at every single stage of this recipe, it's just looked really pretty. The colors always look super nice. And here is our last piece. Now you can totally discard this oil if you want to. You can also save it and confit again. Just pop it in the freezer and it should keep for a few months. Pop the chicken in the fridge for about an hour. This is gonna help it cool down. It's also gonna help it stay together when we fry it. As the chicken is cooling off in the fridge, it is time to make our sauce. Now this sauce comes from Alvin's fried chicken recipe. Link in the description if you want to check that out. To a pan, we are adding rice vinegar, soy sauce, honey, minced garlic, ginger, and then finally, gochujang. And gochujang is a Korean chili paste. If you've never tried gochujang before, you are missing out. We're just going to stir this all together until combined. Let the sauce start to bubble and then go for another 3 to 4 minutes. You want it to thicken up, form a nice, sticky, luscious sauce that we're gonna use to coat our chicken. I think it's ready to go, so we're going to set this aside and then move on to frying our chicken. We are in the final stretch. Before I do anything, I need to prep my batter. In a bowl, I have cornstarch, to which I'm going to add flour, salt, and finally water. Give that a good whisk. We want it to be smooth, no lumps. Sticky cornstarch on the bottom there. There we go, look at that, beautiful. And that is our batter. Now it's time to coat our wings. In a separate bowl here, I have cornstarch. I'm just gonna pop my wings inside. Just use the same hand to coat them. I'm gonna shake off the excess, drop it into my batter. And just using my tongs, I'm gonna toss all of my chicken in my batter. Make sure everything is coated. Trying to be gentle, I don't wanna like tear my chicken or break any of that super tender meat. And then at this point, it's time to fry. So I'm just gonna shake off that excess batter, and then I'm going to add it to my oil. Oh, I love frying chicken. It's so relaxing, it's so soothing. And I'm just gonna make sure nobody's sticking together. My oil is heated to 350 degrees. These are gonna cook for about 4 to 5 minutes until they're golden brown and crispy on the outside. My wings are looking good. Pull them from the oil. Beautiful. And there we are. Ah, you can hear how crisp it is. It's time to drizzle over that gorgeous sauce we made. Oh, yes. Finally, toss everyone to coat, which is honestly a little bit hard because they are so crunchy. Wow, you can really hear how crispy these are. Oh my goodness, look at them. This is like the best of everything. It's shiny, it's sticky, it's crunchy, it's tender. And then I'm just gonna top with a little bit of that extra sauce. To finish this, top with some toasted sesame seeds, a little bit of cilantro, and finally, some thinly sliced scallions. And there you go. There you have it. OneDay sweet and spicy sticky wings. I'm very excited to try these. Who do I want to pick first? You. I don't know if I've ever eaten a piece of chicken that was that crunchy. Oh my God. This is hands down probably the crunchiest piece of chicken I have ever had in my life. Holy cow. It's super flaky and delicate on the inside. The meat is really, really tender. The sauce works really, really well too. It's sticky, but it has a little bit of heat from the gochujang. It's a little bit sweet. If you have a full day and you want to do something and you want to commit to making these wings, I say go for it. If you don't, call out of work, make these, and have a grand old time. These are awesome. These are really, really good wings. If you're in a pinch, we have 10-minute easy cola wings. If you've got a little bit more time or are hungry on a weeknight, we have the 1-hour buffalo wings with homemade ranch dressing and homemade buffalo sauce. Or if you want to pull out all the stops, go the extra mile, we have the OneDay sweet and spicy sticky wings. Let me know which recipe is your favorite in the comments below or message me on Instagram. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time when you have some time to cook.
Oh, yes!